Welcome to the Uncle's channel. Thanks for watching today. And we finally have an update about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed that's coming out on October 18th of this year. And our new information includes ideas about how the co-op is going to work, the overarching story for the game, how the open world segments are going to work, because yes, there are some open world aspects to this game, as well as a new deluxe edition that's been announced. It's not the $200 ridiculous collector's edition, but just simply $10 more that actually includes some pretty cool little bonuses for the game itself. Now, most of our information is going to come from the new trailer that just dropped, as well as the official Nintendo website, the official Outright Games website, as well as the back card of some of the action figures that are aligned for the game. But let's go ahead and start off with the actual overall story for the game itself. Now, we already knew that the overarching stories are new mutants called Mubies who are overrunning New York City. We didn't really know where they came from or anything like that. And I had suspected that the main villain was going to be Worm from the comics or from the old television show, just based on the artwork. However, we now know that the overarching villain is going to be Turbo Cammy, if I'm saying that right. And the action figures actually already come out. It's actually a mutant chameleon here. And I'm going to read what the back of the card says for the action figure. It says there are new mutants running amok in New York City, considered TCRI's failed mutation experiment. These monstrous mutants were sealed in a containment ward and treated like criminals for much of their lives. But thanks to Cammy, these Mubies were freed and are ready to take their part in the mutant revolution. And then continues on here talking about Cammy a little bit. Cammy is the pheromone-spreading leader of the mutant revolution. Alongside her reject brothers and sisters, she hopes to finish what Superfly started and have mutants reign supreme. After a shell-shocking showdown with the Turtles, she transforms into Turbo Cammy, a feral and pheromone-powered monster that attacks the Turtles at lightning speed. And so that right there gives us a brand new storyline that's not associated with Mutant Mayhem so much, not associated with the Tales of the TMNT, but it's got its own little direction here for the Turtles. They're basically taking on these new mutants called Mubies that are failed experiments of the TCRI, and it gives a little bit of a redemption arc for some of the villains as well, because if they were treated horribly in a ward and they finally get out, obviously they want their revenge, but they see the ways of the Turtles and can possibly, turn that around a little bit. And so I think it's a pretty interesting story, and I do think it sets up a really good arc for the overall villain, the Turbo Cammy. And I actually do like the way the villain looks. I know it looks like Worm, like I said earlier, but I think Turbo Cammy could be a pretty good villain for the game. But now let's talk about the co-op action for the game, because one of the first questions that always comes up for a new Turtles game is how does the co-op action work? And if we look on the official Nintendo page here, it says rise to the challenge together, team up with a friend in 2 players, couch co-op mode. And so you can see right there, it's not going to be online co-op. You can even scroll down the page a little bit and it reiterates that by saying number of players, 1 to 2, single system. And so there's not going to be online co-op for this particular Turtles game. And that was going to disappoint some players out there, because like the last mainline Turtles game sort of like this was Mutants in Manhattan on the PS4, PS3, and the Xbox systems, and it had online co-op, and that game was pretty fun as an overall, but the online community for it is completely dead, and there's no way to play local co-op. Now for this game, they're just simply going for local co-op, and they're not going to bother to play with your friends across the world. And like I said, I know it's probably disappointing for some players. Me personally, I'm more excited for it, and I feel like it will allow the game to be a little bit more timeless this way. And perhaps I'm just old school, but I do prefer couch co-op still, and it just feels right for a Turtles game. Now, also on the official Nintendo page, it says, hang out in the neighborhood and the sewers, help citizens find the Mubies, deliver pizzas, and build your own graffiti collection. So that right there tells how the open world aspects are going to work. You obviously have like main missions you go on, but then you can just sort of hang out around the city and you can help citizens, like deliver pizzas, collect coins. It says like build your graffiti collection. So I assume you can go around, spray paint your little graffiti on the wall and, act like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle in New York City. I would almost akin this most like probably to Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2, as far as like having main missions that you can go on, but then you can sort of hang out in New York City. I don't think it's going to go as open world as say like the new Spider-Man games. It might, I don't know, but I'm judging from a smaller studio making this, it's going to play more like probably Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. And if that's the case, I'm pretty excited for it because that's a pretty awesome Spider-Man game. But now let's talk about the Deluxe Edition, because this is actually a pretty cool little package that they have aligned for us here. I did not care for the super $200 Collector's Edition. I feel like that's almost a waste of money. But hey, everybody gets to spend their money how they want to spend it. But the Deluxe Edition is only $10 more than the regular game, and you get all these little extras. You get a steelbook, and the steelbook looks pretty darn cool. It's got little turtle stickers on it, sort of like an old school notebook. I like that steelbook quite a bit. You also get 4 pin badges, which, those are okay. I'm probably not ever going to use that. But my favorite part right here is you get 4 keychains. And look at that. Every keychain has the weapon of that particular turtle. And this is something like I would actually use. And when I'm looking for like deluxe editions or pre-order bonuses, I want something I'm actually going to use. And that right there is something I actually would put on my keychain. So I am actually very excited for that. And I would probably just pay $10 on its own to get all 4 of those little keychain bonuses. So that's worth the money to me. And you get an art book, and I'll probably, thumb through the art book, but I'm not, crazy excited for it. I know all the artwork in this game is done by Woodrow White, who did the Mutant Mayhem movie, who did the artwork or the art direction behind Tales of the TMNT movie or television show. And so the art book will be pretty cool to look at on its own, but honestly the keychain is the big selling point for me. But you can let me know in the comments down below which one you are most excited for if you're going to get to the Deluxe Edition. But overall, I am very excited for Mutants Unleashed to come out next month. I'm glad they finally put out a gameplay trailer for us, because I know a lot of people are sort of worried about like how the game's coming along. Do they want to pre-order the game? Do they even want to pick up the game? Because they had nothing but really screenshots and sort of basic information coming from the company. And I feel like the gameplay trailer really puts some of that to rest, because the action does look pretty darn fantastic. The art style looks really, really good. It feels like it's going to be a timeless game because they're going from that particular art direction of the movie. And just seeing all the different mutants brought to life, I feel like the gameplay trailer really sort of put most people's fears to rest, or worries to rest about this particular game. But what do you all think? Are you going to pick up Mutants Unleashed when it comes out next month? Let me know in the comments down below. Are you going to get one of the collector's editions? What are your thoughts on that? Let me know all that down below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out my other videos listed up above, and go out there, find a great game to play. Simply have a great rest of the day.